104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, the hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
Here we go. It is Thursday, and you're locked into 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so glad that you've joined us today. Don't forget tonight. Nope, not tonight. But tomorrow night, the Braves take on San Francisco. In San Francisco, we don't need to. We're going to talk about that in just a second. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. And as always, on a Thursday, we got Jeffro in the building. Jeffrey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm so glad we're going to talk about the Braves.
That's not
so
very
exciting.
Funny.
I mean, if we're in Braves country, you might want to just deport me out of here.
Oh, my God.
It's not looking good. Is it 4 in a row? Yeah. I believe I can keep count, at least.
Yeah.
That's the good part.
Well, it is 4 in a row.
Yeah.
It's not good. And I don't know. I know that there's a lot of things going on. Bone Crusher, how you doing today before I get into this?
I'm doing pretty good. And speaking of not getting deported, I was walking to the Cumberland Farms in the middle of the night to get some iced coffee, and the sheriff pulled up next to me. I go, "Don't deport me." But luckily, I was wearing an Abraham Lincoln hat, so I'm good.
Well, that's good. All I can say is, Jeffrey, if you keep talking bad about the Braves,
it's going to come true that they're not winning.
No, there's a lot of people in this area that you could be at a restaurant and you might get some water in the face.
Ooh.
And he's a Gator hater.
Yeah, Gator hater.
Water.
And
I'm drowning.
Atlanta Braves.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Well, you better be watching. No, but let's talk about it. The Braves, they are having trouble manufacturing runs. Let's just be honest. The pitching has not been the biggest problem. Obviously, you're going to have times where you have outings that you go out and you don't pitch as well as you want, but you need run support. That's the biggest thing, and the Braves are not getting run support. I was checking out the stats from last night and, starting to look at the batting averages, and I know the Major League, people that keep up with everything, they don't really track batting averages as much as they used to. It's WAR and it's OBP and all these other different things that they want to do. But I will say our best hitter right now is Michael Harris Jr. I mean, that's just that's just how it is. I mean, again, Drake Baldwin has come back from the IL. Before he left on the IL with the oblique strain, he was fantastic. He was leading the team in home runs. He was leading the batting average. He was doing everything. Now, in the last 26 at-bats, he is 1 for 26. So he is 0 for 24 in his last 24 at-bats. His last 25 at-bats. And so, I mean, the one hit that he got was the farthest home run in the Major League Baseball this year, 460-something feet. But that was his first at-bat back. So everybody was really happy when he got back and he hit a home run right out the gate, and then he hadn't hit the ball since. So he's batting under 300. Michael Harris is the only Brave
you say
batting
under 300. We're talking about 383 or something like that. I mean 283.
No, it's a little bit worse than that. I think it's like 240, I believe, is what it was.
Yeah, no.
268.
That's not a star hitter.
268 with 14 home runs still. But, Austin Riley, he's kind of cooled off a little bit. He was 0 for 2 last night. He was starting to kind of pick up a little bit. Matt Olson did go 2 for 4 last night. Ozzie Albies, he's still been consistent at 1 for 4 last night. Dubon's still hitting good. But, again, we're just not like the nights that maybe Olson hits good, Michael Harris doesn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, we have a lot of opportunities, but it just doesn't work out. I mean, we had 6 pitchers last night. Perez got into the 4th inning, gave up 3 runs, had 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, which you want to get into the 6th inning is what you want. But 3 runs. We only scored
It's like
2
a 9.
runs.
Okay, 4 innings. It's not a 9 ERA. It's like a 7 point whatever.
Yeah,
so,
but
I
we only
mean,
gave up 5 runs. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can, 5-2 was with the score. I mean,
But you can't win with 2 runs.
No,
I mean,
we haven't been.
we have won 1-0 or 3-2 in the
Yeah.
past, but 2's not enough.
It's not. And, we're just struggling. And
What's got to happen, Paul? I mean, do they just have to get a sense of urgency? Do they have to start the season over with because start it over again because the way they started out the season needed a refresher?
Well, I mean, we just got to get back to doing what we were doing. And, I mean, we're going through a little cold snap, and it's not fun. I think we only got about a 4.5 game lead now where it was 9. It kind of dropped off. So, I mean, we're getting closer and closer. We just need to be up by 5 or more games by the time the All-Star break happens. That's my goal. I just don't.
Goal?
I don't want to be below. I don't want to. I don't want.
And
them
you
to
don't
catch
play
us
the Phillies until after.
after the And so I mean, we
It's like
got
August,
the Giants.
I think it's like August 2nd. I want to say. I think if my memory serves me right, playing the Phillies head on, you better get your stuff together before you play the Phillies.
Yeah, because they're hitting and
Yeah.
they're playing really well right now. You got Kyle Schwarber, who's leading the league in home runs. Bryce Harper's hot right now. Trey Turner's not so hot, but I mean, it's just one of them things where you got to get the ship turned and righted, and I believe we can do it. We are going to do it. It's just a matter of getting it done. So, I mean, I get it. I know I was so excited, and I know that you tried to dampen my excitement. And so now
I put water on you.
Now you're excited, and I'm trying to dampen your excitement because, we gotta convert you to being an Atlanta Braves fan instead of being a New York Met fan.
No, I think I'm like a lackadaisical just spectator.
Yeah.
Of the whole sport, really. I don't have Yankee hatred, but I definitely don't like the Yankees.
Yeah, that's your big, that's your biggest thing is that you don't really like it.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Another thing that's got to happen is, there's a trade deadline coming very soon.
I hate it.
I think there's
I
a
hate
chance.
it.
You don't
eliminate it. Do away with it. You got your team. This is the team you're going to have for the rest of the year. Don't be dumping because you can't make the playoffs and another team says, oh, look, a bargain. Let's get him, and then we'll use him for the rest of the season and in the playoffs. Team chemistry, most of the time it's going to be worse.
What
if you
about the
change things
players,
up.
though, that are in their latter years of their contracts and they want to have an opportunity to play for a playoff team? Say like Mike Trout, for example. Say Mike Trout comes back and he starts hitting the ball. They don't have any chance in this round world to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And he's just going to go home or go to Cabo like you're always talking about after they lose out.
That's Cancun. But
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, it's baseball.
Close
It's
enough.
Cabo.
Oh, really?
Cancun for basketball. Cabo for baseball.
And Galveston is basketball also.
Galveston is like, I think it's just a dirty place. But I mean, like, what about those kind of guys? Don't you want those guys to get an opportunity to go play in the playoffs and go play for a championship?
No.
And
Put your team on your back and carry them through.
yeah, kind of like
That's
this
what
show.
I'm saying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly like the show.
Exactly like the show most of the time. But, I mean, I think there's a couple of chances. Tarek Skubal is out there, and I don't think he's going to last. I think somebody's going to grab him. I mean, he pitched against the Yankees last night, gave up 3 home runs to the Yankees. So I'm not sure, I'm not so sure how it's going to work out for the Yankees grabbing him. But, man, the Braves, they are on the rumored list of opportunity for him. If you had throwing Chris Sale and then a healthy Skubal back-to-back, I mean, in that's 2 aces back-to-back in a series.
Yeah.
Man, our chances are very good. You might only score 2 runs, and that may be only runs you have to score. So I'm okay with that. So that's what I'm looking for.
So what is Braves ownership? They don't have the deep pockets like the Dodgers or the Yankees. We don't have a cap, right?
Right.
So what's he got to do? Take out a loan?
Yeah, they got the money. They just
don't want to.
they don't
give up?
want to spend it. Yeah, you have that's kind of how it works. I
So
mean,
you don't want to win. It's not important enough for you to spend money to win.
they feel like it's just like anything else. They want to, it's like when you go to the casino or whatever. You don't empty your bank account because you feel like, hey, the only way I can leave here on a great day is I just empty my whole bank account. Every dime that I got, I'm gonna spend it because I want to win.
Okay, not
and
every
you
dime.
you can't buy your way into winning. For sure, there's no guarantee that you're going to win. So I mean, why do you make $10 bets? Why don't you go ahead and bump it up to 5,000? If you've got 7,000 in the bank, use 5,000 on one pitch, right? I mean, just go all in. If that's the case, that's how they feel about it.
I wish I could correct you, but I actually did that. I walked in with $600 in cash into the casino, and I had to play the $25 minimum table on roulette.
Okay.
And that was the worst I ever had, ever, at a casino, ever. And, I liked playing the little $10 minimum bet.
Yeah.
But the 25 wrecked me. I was out $600, obviously. I went all in. So I guess I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
You can't spend all the money this year. You have to hold some over, I guess. And don't go get the loan.
Well, another thing that has broke before. Yeah, sorry about your $600. Maybe we can do a GoFundMe for Jeffrey for $600
For my roulette addiction.
Yeah,
What?
Play wise.
You and
yeah.
Sorsby.
Yeah,
That was me and Sorsby.
that's right. But again, he might be the victim here.
I am a victim. I'm a victim of the ball, little ball,
Yeah,
little roulette
it
ball.
just keeps running around, and it finally.
And no, it
stops.
bounced around. I saw it.
It stopped, but then for some reason there was a magnetic force that pushed it up over the top.
How many times have you heard me say the words, I'm not a conspiracy theorist?
I don't know.
on this
Maybe we
show?
should keep up with it and find you every time you do it.
We should. You should find me.
So, speaking about the CBA and all of that that's coming forward, the next CBA, the league is proposing a max contract length of 5 years. This broke today, right before the show. Max contract length of 5 years for free agent players switching teams, and 6 years to retain their own players, and no deferred contracts. So everything that Shohei Ohtani did is he deferred his contract. I think he's taking $1 million a year, but as he gets into his latter part of it, it moves up to like $8 million, $10 million, $15 million, $20 million, all the way through until the end of the contract. So they're wanting to do away with that. They're wanting to say 5-year contracts for players that are switching teams, 6-year contracts for players that are already on that team. So if you want to do a new contract, renegotiated contract, or an extension, you can only do up to 6 years. If you're getting a player coming on, you can only do 5 years. You like that or no?
I hate the whole 5-year thing. It's too much control. It's socialism is what it is. You're putting everybody in one jar, in one bucket. You can't have a 1 or 2 year deal?
It just says that the max contracts.
Oh, the max contracts.
Yeah, so basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to save money is what they're doing.
No.
That's what they're trying to do.
I'm not for that part of it. But the whole thing where you do the deferred and everything, yeah. You know what next Wednesday is?
Bobby Bonilla Day.
You got it.
Yeah.
He's getting paid for another 9 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a perfect example of
But
that.
why do you not like it if the man was smart enough to negotiate a contract that the Mets were dumb enough to pay him for the next 20 years, even though he wasn't playing for them anyway, and it was spreading it out over the course of years instead of making them pay lump sum monies to him as a player? I don't see nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. Now, if they're unable to pay him, now I wonder how that would go across as far as, who would do that. But then also, do they automatically, if there's a team sell, will they have to renegotiate that, or do they automatically have to pay it?
They automatically have to pay it. It's got to be in it. Yes, outstanding debt. So the accountant would say you have to pay that, or the bookkeeper, either way.
But I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, if they negotiated, if me and you and Bone Crusher negotiated a deal, well, and if it's the deal we all agreed to, then let's go for it. Why do you hate that so much? You're turning into a hater or something.
Well, I believe in balanced budgets, and I believe that you shouldn't be able to have an advantage over somebody by paying them in the future.
Everybody can do it. You could do every contract that way if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but I don't believe in that.
You'd have 20
that's how businesses go into debt. That's how the college football world is, or all of college athletics right now is, because they're going in the red and they're not even worried about balancing their budget.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not good for the economy.
Do you think, Bone Crusher, that a 5-year max deal is going to fly with these baseball players? Because the whole deal about all of this is that the Major League Baseball, with all of the shock and awe that they've done over the past week, this week has just been shock and awe. Changing the way they do the draft process, not allowing high school kids to be in the draft anymore for baseball. Now they're coming out today with another punch of saying, if you come over from another team, we are only going to give you max contract for 5 years. If you're on that team, you can only go max contract for 6 years. I mean,
what is the Players Association?
They haven't been able to respond yet. They haven't put out a response yet.
I don't think they're going to like it.
No. Well, if you remember last year, Rob Siegfried went into the Philadelphia Phillies locker room and started talking to the players, trying to kind of pull them off. And Bryce Harper got in his face and told him with explicit words that you need to get out of this locker room. And I think he said, get out of my locker room. And he's he's the commissioner of Major League Baseball.
It is kind of
so
his.
that lets you know where they stand with this. I mean, because what in essence is what he's trying to do is he's trying to bring the floor up, but he's trying to cap the top. So he's trying to get these other guys all on board of saying, hey, the league minimum is this, and we're going to push it up so everybody gets money. Yeah. And we're not going to allow these superstars that are really – and let's just be honest. The superstars are why people come. They're why people spend the money.
When you look at the payroll of these teams, you see guys with small salary. Then you'll see a veteran makes maybe $1 million or $2 million. Then you'll see 1 or 2 guys that are eating up the entire payroll.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have the answer, but I don't like that.
Yeah. Do you like that? I do. I think if you are the reasoning behind your team's success, if you're and when I say success, I'm not necessarily talking. Let's look at Mike Trout, for example. Mike Trout has not led the team to the playoffs, but Mike Trout fills the stands. Mike Trout's jerseys are sold. People come to see Mike Trout. They come there, pay their money to do. So why should he be at the same or not a big time amount? Because can you name anybody else on the Angels?
No.
Nobody, right? Okay. Well, who is the team?
I don't live out there.
Right.
Okay, so that's my point right there. You are the one that's bedazzled by names and superstars. I'm not. I go see the Saints. It's not to go see Drew Brees. It's my team. It's a team sport. Baseball's a team sport. I'm not back in the days when I went to go see multiple Astros games, it was Bagwell, Biggio. If one player like Caminetti gets traded, I'm not going to stop going to the Astros games. I'm not bedazzled by the stars. Now, if it wasn't my team, like Michael Jordan on the Bulls, yes, I'm bedazzled by the superstar. But when it comes to my teams, no. I'm not all about the stars. And Bryce Harper, I don't like him. I'm not going to call him a name, but when I moved up by Washington, D.C., and he was a national, I felt like he had a bad attitude. And then he wanted out of town, and it just supported what I thought about him, and he went to the Phillies.
Yeah.
And he's done what he has done. And everybody said, oh, the Nationals will never win. And guess what the Nationals did?
Right.
They won one without him. And so the superstar thing, I'm not dazzled by. You are, apparently. Yeah. Bone Crusher?
He's on the phone.
He's on the phone. He would be the tiebreaker for our discussion on this.
The superstars are who sells the tickets. There are little kids who have their heroes, and it's not the guy that is a platoon player that's played for 5 to 6 to 10 different teams. They are not there. There's a reason why people buy the jerseys. There's a reason why people want the autographs, the pictures, the cards, the memorabilia, all of that.
So Derrick Henry left Alabama, and you stopped going. No.
No, I didn't say you stopped going. Because there's new players.
Who
every
sells
year.
the tickets? I thought it was Derrick Henry, the superstar. No, you're an Alabama fan, Paul.
Sorry, but college does not stay there. But if
Okay,
you want to ask
so
me,
you want to go pro?
if you want to ask me,
Who's your team? The
hold on,
Yankees.
Hold on, time out. If
You're
you-
going to tell me the superstar at the Yankees, Mike Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, yeah, Mike Judge. Aaron Judge is the reason why you go to Yankees games? No, it's not. It's the Yankees, man.
I guarantee you, most people go to watch their favorite player. Those kids, those parents, those people. You're talking about people that are season ticket holders that, yeah, they've been there forever because that's their team.
Yes.
But what I'm telling you is if the Yankees stop spending money and turn into the Angels, you will see the Yankees looking just like the Angels if they only have one particular person. You're not telling me that you agree that the Tennessee Titans, and we can look it up, when Derrick Henry was in his prime there, that number 22 jersey wasn't being sold more than any other Titan jersey. And the reason why they had people coming to fill those seats was to see Derrick Henry. And when Derrick Henry got traded away and they went into a lull and they didn't win games and they didn't have, I guarantee you the ticket prices went down and the stands were not filled and the hot dogs
This is
were not
ruining
brought.
baseball. You go back to how free agency ruined baseball. You're not as Jeff said, we want to root for a team, not a player. And this is just exacerbating the problem.
So Drake Baldwin or Acuna leaves the Braves. You're not going to go to them any more or less. It's still your Braves.
Right. You're going to definitely have your team, but I'm telling you that people love the stars.
Those
and
are the lackadaisical spectators.
Who cares? But the stars are who drives the sales. Do you look at when Mark McGwire was with the Oakland A's? But when he went to the St. Louis Cardinals and made the St. Louis Cardinals relevant for that years that he was there, people were all over St. Louis because why? Mark McGwire. We're here to see home runs. We're here to see him hit it over the fence. We're here to see the Big Mac swing. And that's it.
And they went another 16 to 18 years with nothing but sellouts in St. Louis until last year. Or maybe it was a year before. It's really recent that St. Louis stopped selling out their arena.
Can you name anybody that's a star there?
No.
Okay.
There's a guy, he's from, not Enterprise, Dothan, and he's up over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, the guy from Dothan.
The guy from Dothan.
Put that on his jersey and sell it so Jeffrey can wear it.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we've got Alan Watson on the phone. We got to talk about what's going on or what happened at the U.S. Open last week and all the stuff at Golf Plus. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of little radio stations with little signals that drop off at the edge of town?
He did say,
Oh, bless their hearts. This is the most powerful sports signal in the Panhandle. You found the Sports Talk Monster. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. A likelihood of thunderstorms and some sun the remainder of the day with a wind at 11 miles per hour out of the west-southwest and 85. Tonight look for possible thunderstorms and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 87 and possible thunderstorms in the morning followed by mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
360-degree protection of your home, 365 days a year, one low monthly price.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control offers an affordable program that provides our customers with peace of mind. Brock 365.
We like bundling pest control with termite protection for a low monthly payment. We couldn't be happier with the results. Most treatments are done outside, and we haven't had any issues in over 3 years.
Call us today for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control.
It's time to take your season to the next level when the Jaguars return to the bank in 2026. Become a season ticket member and unlock exclusive access to ticketed events, members-only experiences, NFL membership club perks, and more. Availability is limited due to in-bowl renovations, so don't wait. Call 904-633-2000 or visit jaguars.com/season tickets to secure your spot at the center of the action. We'll see you at the bank this fall.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, your place for the Atlanta Braves. This is the Sports Blitz, and we're so excited to have you join us today. 850-215-6290 is the way you call us. You can call in, text in on that line as well. You can also message us on Facebook. We're right here all day until 6 o'clock. We're so excited. Got Jeffrey here, Bone Crusher's here, and we have on the phone right now Alan Watson of Golf Plus. Alan, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, I'll be honest, but overall doing really good. Shop's been pretty busy lately, and glad to be here.
Well, we're excited. I've been seeing some of your behind-the-scenes videos of you getting all those boxes, and Jeffrey's pretty good at breaking down boxes. I'm sure he could probably come over and help you a little bit. But I do know that you've been slinging some product. Tell us about what's going on with that Whatnot, man. That stuff is hot.
Yeah, it's been really busy. We've been trying to ramp up the number of shows that we do. So we did shows the last 2 nights. We're going to take the next tonight and tomorrow night off before we come back for Saturday night show. But yeah, we've just been rocking and rolling with that and growing that side of the business and meeting people from all over the country, which is a lot of fun through that. And it's something that I didn't really see coming, but hey, the future is here, and so we're going to embrace it.
Yeah, I don't blame you a bit. Let's talk a little bit about baseball real quick. I've got 2 knuckleheads in the studio with me today talking about this whole thing about this, that the stars really, that's what's ruined baseball. It's not about the stars, it's about the team. What side of the fence are you on when it comes to this whole thing about the stars getting their money and whether or not that they should get their money, or should it be a little bit more of socialism, as Jeffrey calls it?
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit on both sides of the fence. I mean, I believe that people should be rewarded and paid for their contributions in life, and if you've got somebody who has proven their worth, and then they deserve to get paid. And as it relates to sports and people going to the ballpark and things like that, I can remember a few years ago I wanted to take my whole team to a Braves game, and I remember telling my son, and he was like, this is great, because he was going to get to see Shohei Ohtani play, right? So for him, it was like, I want to go see Shohei. For me, it was like, I want to go see the Braves. So obviously they're not playing on the same team. They were playing against each other. But it was just, so we were in the same park, sitting beside each other. I'm watching an entire team, and he's looking out for that one player, right? So I think there's room on both sides of the argument. A true fan is going to go see their team regardless of who's on that team. But also there are people that are just fans of certain players, and maybe not as, you look at like a LeBron or something. If LeBron ended up playing for the Knicks next year, people would go to see LeBron, but they'd also be there for the Knicks. If LeBron went to go play for the Pelicans, people would go see him down there. You know what I mean? So, like, I see both sides of it. But when you think about, like, college athletics, the kids are only there for 2 to 4 years, and then they're gone. So you have to be a fan of the team, because you can't, if you're a fan of the player and then he leaves and goes to the NFL, well then, what are you going to do? Never go see another game or whatever? So, yeah, I mean, I see both sides of it for sure.
Well, and that's the thing, like for me, and I'm sure Jeffrey's a little bit of the same way. When you have so many players go to the NFL, like Alabama, like I believe you've asked me before, who do you like? Who's your team? And I'm like, I used to just pull for the Alabama guys. And so they were all spread out and they were everywhere.
That's right.
So you really just look for them. And I mean, with the way society has worked now, it's really hard to buy a jersey because you don't really know if they're going to be there very long. And that's the other
No.
side of it. You know,
No,
everybody
absolutely
kind
not.
of goes
Sorry
wherever.
to cut you off, but yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, you'll buy a hat because it says that you're a fan of the Eagles, or you're a fan of KC, or you're a fan of the Braves, or whoever. But you're right. You buy a $250, $300 jersey, whatever they are nowadays, and then that player is gone at the end of the season. It just feels, it's a tough decision to make, to pay that money if you don't know if they're going to be there.
And that's the problem that I think a lot of these colleges are starting to see, where there's so many transfers as well, because, you know, you go and you buy a jersey and have that player's name, and then the next thing you know, they're in the transfer portal going somewhere else. And that's the problem. But either way, thanks for bringing sense to that. How do you feel about what they're trying to do, though? They're trying to raise the level of the floor, but then they're trying to cap the top of it. Do you think the players are going to go for that? Because I don't. I don't think they're going to go for it.
Well, the players aren't going to go for it because the ones that are making the big bucks want to keep making it, and the ones that are not there yet are waiting for their breakout season so that then they can demand the big money. So I don't see – I think raising the floor certainly helps everyone, but capping the ceiling hurts the big earners. And so – but I like what Acuna said the other day about wanting to take a little bit of a pay cut to help the team overall, because he'd rather be with a winning organization than be a superstar in Loserville. And so he didn't say it like that. That's my recap version. But I think that's great. But until you can get all the superstars to say that, until you can get the Aaron Judges and the Shoheis and all those guys to say that, well, then it doesn't match up. I mean, and then you've got seasons like this season with the Braves where you've got Ha-Seong Kim, who's not playing up to his $20 million paycheck.
Nope.
But then you've guys like Baldwin and several other guys. You've got guys that are only making, I mean, I think, what's the
Harris?
shortstop?
Dubon.
Dubon, but also I'm just blanking on his name. But anyway, there's another fellow that's only making like, $200,000 or whatever, and he's out there contributing just as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like not really fair. I don't know how to fix that, but there's got to be. And then it's crazy because you got these guys that come in and just play a couple of games because somebody's hurt, and then they send them right back down to the minors. It's like, well, how do you, how does that work in terms of their contribution versus their paycheck? So, that's a mess. But you're right, Paul. They're not going to go for that. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I think it was a clear-cut move last year whenever Bryce Harper kicked Rob Sigford out of the clubhouse.
Every time they have these negotiations, they got to throw something absurd out there so they have some type of leverage to say, "Oh, well, you're not giving me this. You must give me this."
Yeah.
They kind of work it down.
Point.
It's lawyer negotiation, is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy one.
Good idea.
That's the part that I don't love.
No, exactly. It's not fair, but I think Jeffrey might be onto something there because, you throw out the most ridiculous possibility that is not going to stick, but you act like that's your starting point, and then anything from there seems more reasonable, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. It's like Jeffrey calling me Dad, but I told him instead he could call me King.
Well, you got to do that when you're trying to buy a new car,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's all negotiations. The art of the deal, right?
Art of the deal.
There we go.
By Donald Trump.
That's right. Let's talk, Alan, let's talk about this craziness that went on last weekend with the U.S. Open and all of the heckling stuff. You know me, we've already talked about it some, but I just, they brought it up to Scheffler. He was like, I loved his answer, even though he didn't want to talk about it long, but he did say enough that kind of, I liked it. It made me kind of happy because Scheffler was like, unless they're talking about, talking or yelling while you're on your backswing, I don't really care what they say while we're playing because I know that some people are going to love you and some people are going to hate you.
Right, absolutely. And it's okay for people to cheer for the guy that they're there to see, and they wanted Scotty to win because he's world number one, and they wanted him to win so he could compete the career Grand Slam and all that. But at the same time, I'm more of a cheer for who you want to cheer for, but don't boo for the other guy kind of person, especially in golf, just because it's a little bit more quiet game and there's not as much room. But we've talked about this before because we've seen it at the Ryder Cup. We saw it with Matthew Fitzpatrick a few weeks ago at a tournament here in America where people were chanting USA and wanting someone else to win besides him. And so this does happen, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately if you're into that kind of thing. But I mean, maybe it's just part of sports. I mean, think about it. You go to a basketball game and the guy's trying to shoot a free throw, and all the fans from the other team are behind the glass waving banners or waving little, those sticks that pound, the color. They're trying to distract him, right? It's like, that's just part of it, I guess.
Nebraska swim team during the college basketball. They all were in there.
That was
it doesn't get ugly.
That was Dayton.
That was pretty ugly.
No, Miami of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio with the Speedos on. We're talking with Alan Watson here with Golf Plus.
Well, here's what we need to do. We need to keep the regulars out of golf.
No.
We don't want a Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore playing and the crowd acting like it's where's the beer funnel?
No, I think it's good. Alan, this is what I think we should do. Let's put this together and submit it to the PGA. We got hollering zones or heckling zones. And you get as long as you're in those areas, when those players walk in those areas, so you have a little stick that's got a red tip on it, and you got another stick that's down the way as they're walking through, you can scream and holler and say anything that's not inappropriate, but just heckling. You can heckle them when they walk in between these two poles, and as they're walking every hole, they've got the heckling zone, and as they walk through there, you can tell them all about them right there. How do you think that would go?
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's a very strange idea, but I mean, maybe that would work. Maybe we need the heckling zones. I mean, we need something to. I don't know. The thing about golf is that it was supposed to be this more gentlemanly sort of thing, and most people do treat it that way. But occasionally you get somebody that just they want to give somebody like Wyndham Clark, who ended up winning. They want to give him grief because he's had some personal issues and other things happen. But, he's already a U.S. Open champion. He won it 3 years ago. And I felt like it was kind of disrespectful. But, again, that's just sports. You can't root for everybody.
I know, this is probably not going to go over well, but I'm going to say it. How do we call this a gentleman's game when they make Tiger the chairman of the future competition committee?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's a little. Tiger's a man. Tiger is a man before he's a golfer, and he's proved it on many occasions.
Yeah. So you did bring up Scheffler, and we had this conversation last week. It's like we want him to win because he's you even prefaced him as the number one golfer in the world, and it's just like he's like what Jeffrey calls Texas Longhorns. He's really good, and he makes it, but he never wins championships. And that's the problem, I guess, that I'm having, people are having, that I'm talking to. It's like, man, Scotty's having a great year because he's, like, in every tournament, but he's just not pulling, he's just not winning. And that's the big problem. Do you think that's going to tarnish his legacy a little bit?
No, I think this is just going to be one bad year, and I think he'll be right back to it. I don't think his legacy is already cemented because he's already won 3 legs of the Grand Slam. He's got the green jacket, which is very important. He's won every tournament that matters except the U.S. Open. Yeah. And most guys don't even win one major in their career, and he's already got 3. So I don't think it tarnishes his career. I just think that it's just a slump is all it is, really. And he's actually still played pretty good through it. But I remember when Rory had his slump a few years ago, and everybody said, oh, it's because he's married now, and he's distracted and all this. And it's like, yeah, that happens to real people at their real jobs, too, where they don't always perform to the highest level because they got life happening and other stuff happening around them. So I just feel like this is just a little tiny slump. I think that, he's going to come out of it. He's still going to be one of the top players in the world for the next several years because he's so young. He's got so much more time to go. Yeah. And so, no, I don't think anything's tarnished at all right now for Scotty.
What do you think about the whole deal with Bryson DeChambeau? I was reading an article that said that he will have to pay a significant penalty if he wants to return to the PGA Tour. and it starts talking about how that regarding his return, some players reportedly memorized everything negative has said about the tour over the past several years. Brooks Koepka successfully returned earlier this year, but reports suggest DeChambeau could face stricter terms. PGA Tour CEO Brian Rolup has emphasized with rules comes accountability. What do you think is going to happen with that?
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely fine him just like everybody else, and there'll be some time off. But he's coming back to the tour, I think. I think he wants to play competitive golf, and if LIV either doesn't exist or just doesn't exist in a format that suits these guys, I think you're going to see the top 4 or 5 guys come back to the tour, and Bryson's certainly one of them. John Rahm probably being the other biggest name that's still on LIV. But Bryson is a polarizing figure and always has been. He's he's sort of a tiger in the sense that people either love him or hate him, but you can't deny what he has done for the sport over the last year or two, how he's made the transition from tournament golfer to internet sensation, and that personality has come out, and people now are more endeared to him. So the tour needs him because they need some people that people actually know. I mean, there are so many guys. If Ben Griffin walked into your studio right now, you would not know that he is a professional golfer. You would not know who he is. There's just a bunch of guys like that are top level, great guys, but only golfers, true golfers, know him. But Bryson is transcending golf right now, and they need him on the tour bad.
So I know we're going over time a little bit, but I do want to get your thoughts on this whole splitting up the PGA thing. What is that all about?
When you say splitting up the PGA thing, what are we talking about? Because I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, they had an announcement today. Well, I think it was today. Maybe it was yesterday. But anyway, they're going to be 2 different tours, and one of them is going to be the Challengers, and one's going to be the Championship Tour. And so I guess people who are trying to fight for a spot on the major championship series, they'll have to basically win at the Challengers Series to basically get elevated up to the championship series. And that's what the PGA is going to do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that is news to me. That's the first I've heard of this. We already have the Korn Ferry Tour, which is sort of the proving grounds that then gets you onto the PGA Tour.
Wait, did you say the Cornflakes Tour? What'd you say?
Korn Ferry.
Okay.
Korn Ferry. Okay. Which I have no idea. I have no idea what that is. But
they come into your house at night.
All I think about is Jeff wearing a corn suit. Korn Ferry.
Yeah. We're going to go to the Applejacks League next, but whatever. I think, again, if you have to do that to maybe elevate the stars where one place is just chock full of stars and you don't have that sort of diluted field, maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. Like I said, I've been so busy working I haven't seen anything on the internet today, so I don't know what's going on. But that'll be interesting if they do, something like that. But again, it seems a little dangerous though, because the whole thing with LIV, everybody was like, well, this stinks because we're splitting up the best players in the world and putting them in 2 different areas.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face there. I don't just if I'm getting it right from where y'all are saying it, I don't like it, but just until I read more about it, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, tell us your hours of operation. Make sure you give us the Whatnot store name and all the stuff that's going on at Golf Plus this week.
Absolutely. On Whatnot, we are Beach Golf Shop, so you can check us out there. Like I said, next show is coming up in a couple of days. And then here in the store in Panama City Beach, we are 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and we're located at the Shops at Edgewater right next to Firefly Restaurant, so come see us.
Well, awesome, Alan. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend. Sell out everything on your store and on Whatnot, and we would definitely be watching.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you.
Have a good night. All right. When we come back, we will start diving into all of the latest stories of what's going on this day in sports, because it's crazy. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
The Miami Heat, and I'm hearing all the critics. Yeah, does it make them better? Now with Bam Adebayo, Giannis, Bobby Portis, that is the best defensive front line in the NBA. That matches up with Wemby for about the next 2 to 3 years. And you say, well, what about the East? You take your chances in the East.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at 1.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
It's almost time to kick off the 2026 season at the bank. Whether you want to be at the center of it all as a season ticket member, lock in 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or cheer on the Jags at your most anticipated matchup, there's a way for everyone to be a part of the action. Seating is limited, so don't wait. Secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Alan Watson from Gulf Plus in Panama City Beach.
When we first came to Panama City Beach to launch our business, we didn't really have a voice and we didn't have any way of letting people know that we were here and we were new. ESPN Radio has given us a way to reach our audience, which is sports fans, because of being in the golf industry. And we've managed to grow the business while staying on the radio for 6 straight years. So it's been the kind of thing that's really helped us to grow. It's brought in the most business, and it's the thing that we're recognized for and people associate us with. I couldn't be happier with our association with ESPN Radio.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. That's ESPNPC.com and click contact.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, where the listeners call the plays.
That's a big factor in what Florida State's going to do for the future of this program.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so glad that you joined us on this beautiful Thursday in Panama City Beach. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on our line, 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. You can call in, you can text in. You can also message us on Facebook. We're right here live on our ESPN Northwest Florida Facebook page. You can look at YouTube as well. We'll respond there. Also, so just so we are clear, we've got a phone call here, and we've got Ed on the line. Ed, how are you today, my friend?
Doing all right. How y'all doing?
We're doing fantastic, Ed. How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. I want to call in and talk about the topic y'all were talking about previous to a little while ago. Come on.
Yeah, what you got?
You know, when it comes to sports, man, and this is just my own personal opinion, I want to be entertained. Like, you don't have to be the greatest team, the greatest players, but I got to be entertained.
So do you feel like, you know, for baseball you need to hit home runs, for basketball you need to dunk, and for football you need to throw the ball deep?
Not at all, but you got to be entertaining. You got to sell yourself in a way out there as well.
Well, if you look at how the places have started, I mean, you know, just like for baseball, you got, you know, the 7th inning stretch. They do fun stuff like that. They get the kids on the field. They got the fireworks if they win. They got this, that, the other. They got, you know, games that they play during the game. Now they got the ABS. So, I mean, that's part of, you know, trying to make the experience better. And football, you've got halftime and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But, you know, what else can they do?
I'm talking about more like players. like one of the most entertaining players that comes to my mind automatically is Dennis Rodman. He was entertaining. He was controversial. He made you talk.
Yeah, but he also would possibly be in jail in Las Vegas the night of the game after the game was over.
That is true. So you never knew. So you never knew what to expect from him.
So if I'm hearing you correct, you want to fill up teams with Dennis Rodman-like players, and that would be way more fun.
Don't put those words in my mouth. But I want to be. I mean, I'm a fan like everybody else. I want my team to win, and I want to be entertained by multiple players on it.
But for baseball, they do have something like that. It's called banana ball, and
yeah, I've heard about this.
Either you love it or you hate it. I'm not a big fan. Jeffrey loves it because
I don't.
He likes seeing the men twerk.
Yeah.
But other than that,
dance moves.
I like the idea of glow-in-the-dark baseball, though. That looked kind of cool. I saw that concept they were doing.
Yeah, that's definitely fun, but also dangerous.
And then you guys have the Atlanta Braves where they do the seventh inning, where they do that run, the flash or the freeze, right?
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, he races everybody. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they do a good job. But what do you think about the players? Like, do you believe people are there to see certain players, or do you think the majority of the fans that are there to see the team? Or is it maybe just location? It's closest to, because, I've heard that, like, when the Dodgers come to town, you can't find seats. And, when it's somebody else, you can find seats. If they're playing the Guardians or if they're playing the Astros, you can find seats. But when they're playing Judge and the Yankees, or they're playing the Dodgers with Shohei and Freddie, the seats aren't available.
See, I don't think it's one thing in particular. I think it's a multiple of variables. We don't have enough time to talk about it because we could talk about it for a good half hour if we wanted to, but multiple variables for different teams and games.
Yeah. I just wonder if it is star-laden now because of so many teams or so many players moving teams, where I would say that the average Major League Baseball player probably moves 2 times in his career, and that's kind of where you get, these teams that, when you look at even some of the Hall of Famers, when you got Mark McGwire, Roger Clemens, and I know those guys aren't in the Hall of Fame, but I just think of those guys where they went to different teams.
Real quick, I'll say it's not related to baseball, but it's basketball. Remember Jeremy Lin when he had that amazing month?
Yeah.
Linsanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just rode that wave for that whole month, and look where it took him.
Yeah, and I mean, they bought in. You're exactly right. And the other thing is that it got him another contract. It kept getting him contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wasn't sure if he was going to be able to, reproduce that again. Because getting hot in a month.
Now, Paul, if you had a decision to make and you want to go to an Alabama game, and you're given the decision, you want to go see Tennessee or Mercer?
Tennessee.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's the fact that you want to go see the Braves play the Padres, or you want to go see the Dodgers? You want to go see the Dodgers.
Yeah, you want to see the Dodgers, but if I had the opportunity to see, the Padres or the
Astros,
Angels,
or the Angels.
I mean, I might want to go see Mike Trout, but if he's hurt, then I want to go see the team that's got the most stars. And I will tell you this. Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I gotta let you go though. Hey, I'm gonna keep listening, but Spurs in 11 or maybe Spurs in 13.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Awesome.
Wow.
Way to stay on top of it, Ed. We appreciate it.
It's not over with till Ed says it's over with.
Right.
It's the best of 13 series.
I mean,
I don't know why everybody stopped looking.
Exactly. But let me tell you a true story about me and my wife looking at the Braves tickets that we were looking at going to. What we wanted to do, we knew who we were going to see when we were at home with the Braves because it's our team. It's the closest team to us. And
unless somebody's injured, because the Braves have had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got enough players that you'd want to go see.
Oh, yeah.
But the secondary part is who are they playing?
Okay,
What stars are going to be there that we can go see and watch that maybe are on the other side of the continent or maybe that are so far away. Last year, we went and saw him play the Pirates. Paul Skeens was there. We got to see him. My son got a ball signed by Andrew McCutcheon. Really cool atmosphere. It was good to see those guys, right? Yeah. That's what they do. That's why they don't think that the MLB is not a marketing genius. Why do you think they put out the players who are pitching the night before or the week before.
Oh, yeah.
Is to sell the tickets so that if you had an opportunity to go watch some guy that you've never heard of pitch against the Braves and you had free tickets and you had a chance to go see Paul Skeens or some guy you never heard of, and they said you pick the night that you want and both nights are on the night that you can go, you're going to the one to see Paul Skeens because he's a star.
So are the NBA just a bunch of marketing morons? Because LaFlop could come into town and he doesn't even play for the Lakers against the Spurs, you know?
But they don't tell you that he's not playing until it's like a certain amount of time before. Yes, they are marketing geniuses because they're manipulating the fans.
Yes,
My brother and his family went to go see the Pelicans play Golden State to see Steph Curry. Curry sat out. I don't even think he traveled. I don't even think he was there. So, but that's the other thing. You know, they were there to see Steph Curry, and it just didn't work out.
So Ed could get tickets, and he wants to go see Wemby, and Wemby's hurt, you know.
Yeah, but, I mean, if he lives there, then, you know, you would kind of pick it around knowing when he was going to be there.
These tickets aren't cheap, Paul. I mean, that's the whole thing with the ceiling on baseball. I don't want baseball to get out of hand. And I'm not a super baseball fan. You know that. But I don't want it to become like football where every ticket's like $300.
Well, it's going to make the low-level market teams' tickets go up if they push the floor up.
Yes.
And they make the teams pay a certain amount.
Yes.
If they leave it like it is, they will have the lower-level teams where they don't pay as much, and you'll still be able to go and get a good price ticket. But, I mean, that's kind of the monster of it all, is that if they raise the level at the floor, it's going to make the ticket prices go up. If it stays the same way, I think the ticket prices will stay kind of what it is.
I don't remember if it was like 10 or 12 years ago when he started giving these 10-year deals for $200 million in baseball, and it made me extremely worried because the only sport that was outpacing it was soccer. And I didn't like the fact that they were getting paid so much money they can't even spend it in their lifetime, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at it, it's depending on where they are, the taxes that they have to pay, and the attorney fees, and agent fees, and all that.
That's why California doesn't deserve any teams.
And New York.
Ooh, yeah.
Because both of them have to pay. I know we said how much. It was like, what was his name? The Sam Darnold. He only made like $147,000 of his $5 million prize that he won for being MVP and all of the things that were brought into, but because he had to pay taxes from where the Super Bowl was played in that great state of California, your second state that you love.
Okay, before we go on break, what player in each sport, major leagues, okay, so NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball, what's the one player you would like to see in person?
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
I've already saw LeBron James, so I've already saw him.
So now it's Wemby.
So now it would be Wemby for sure. And then football, I'd love to see Patrick Mahomes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So those are the three. To me, that would be the three best at their, for whatever. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we've got to dial into what's going on. There's an upset in the World Cup. We've got to discuss it. And then also, what is going on with Caitlin Clark? You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Paul, let me say this, okay? When I walk in the bar, the bartender has a beer waiting on me. When I walk over to get a beer, and I say thank you, and there's guys, people standing around the bar, and they're like, wait a minute, I know you. You're Daryl Feinbaum. No, yeah, you are. And you know what, Paul? I used to think about celebrities. Now I get it, okay? It gets annoying.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. A likelihood of thunderstorms and some sun the remainder of the day with a wind at 11 miles per hour out of the west-southwest and 85. Tonight, look for possible thunderstorms and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 87 and possible thunderstorms in the morning followed by mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
DraftKings Sports is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. Group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up now with code NWFlorida. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's code NWFlorida in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings. Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
WJSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back to the gap at the wall. Out of here!
His major in college,
We're going streaking through the quad.
LSU Jeff, is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Come on, everybody, we're going!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here we go!
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
Here we go. It's 5 o'clock on a Thursday. You got one more day into the weekend, baby. And we are so excited that you joined us today on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Thank you, Lil Cash, for the intro. We always appreciate it. The best intro in the South. I love it. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. You can call in. You can text in. You can message us on Facebook and YouTube. We will respond. And we've got upsetting news, Jeffrey. You got to get going on this because the World Cup, it looks like Ecuador has upset Germany 2-1, and this is an unbelievable upset. This is like gigantic. People are going crazy. They're jumping into the stands, and this was not seen by anybody. I cannot believe it. It's crazy. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah. Won't be long. The United States of America will be jumping into this victory parade as well. Just so you know, I want to give everybody a heads up. Next Wednesday, when the United States of America is playing their World Cup game, we are going to be going live from Lone Star Boil House. We're going to be doing the show right there live from 4 to 6, and we're going to stay over and watch the World Cup with everybody. So make sure you come out, be a part of that. Wear your United States of America clothes. I'm talking paint your faces, your bodies, and bring your flags, baby, because we're going to be pushing the USA because that's the knockout game. We got to get past that one. So it's going to be huge. We're going to have a great time. But let's talk about this Ecuador real quick. Upsetting Germany. I'm pumped up about a game that I don't even know anything about.
Yeah, you could barely find Ecuador on a map.
Oh,
you know it's by the equator. That's all you know.
I know it's spelled the same way.
Yeah, it is because the equator goes right through the country.
That's right. I know. I just follow it through.
So when we're talking about South America, obviously, the first country you're going to talk about is Brazil. And then after that, it's Argentina.
Tell us about the game. I don't need a geography lesson here.
Ecuador is not one of the top 4 teams in that whole continent.
Wow.
So this is a huge upset. They've already lost to, who is it, Ivory Coast.
And Curacao, right?
They tied Curacao. So Curaçao's locked in for last.
You said Curacao. I said Carousel, like the one you get on to ride around in a circle.
So Germany,
no idea.
Germany really didn't have as much to play for. I mean, they had the 2 wins. They had already beaten Ivory Coast head on.
But doesn't it help their seed to win again, though?
No.
They were
Absolutely
already
no.
seeded.
No, they already seeded. It's kind of like the College World Series. When you go to your Super Regional, you know what spot you're going to go on the brackets, because there's 2 sides of the brackets, right? So when the United States won, they go to a certain spot in the knockout round of 32. We're waiting on a third-place team from certain groups.
Yeah.
E, F, G, A, I, J. Anyway, so for Ecuador, it was sort of like a must-win because they have to be one of the best third-place teams because Ivory Coast is already locked into the second spot. Germany was set at number 1. So not all third-place teams in the groups advance. So they had to basically either tie this or win it to advance, and they're automatically going to advance. So this is huge for that country. I mean, they're celebrating like they just can't believe that they just did
because
this.
they're not supposed to go to the knockout round, and now we're going to the 32 round of all of the countries that they're going to be getting to play. And so this is a big excitement. This is huge.
Yeah, and not Uruguay. Uruguay is another good team, by the way. But anyway, Ecuador is not a big country, so
Yeah. So upset Germany, and I think one of our listeners, wasn't it Chris, that likes Germany?
Yeah.
So maybe he's listening right now, Chris.
But you know what?
That's what you get, Chris, for going with the second team. See, if you go with the United States, you don't have to have a second team. See, Chris, how it goes.
So America will be next Wednesday. It's already been set because we know what part of the bracket we're in.
Just don't know who we're playing yet.
Yeah, but it'll be a third-place team. So
Yep.
chances are we'll be the favorite for that one. And then going to the 16 round, I'm not saying we're going to be a favorite because, we could be
We
playing.
are going to be a favorite, Jeffrey. We are going to be a
we're
favorite.
America.
Because we're America, and that's what
Yeah.
we're doing. Yeah, we're winning.
So, I don't know if it's going to be a first or second place team in the second round, but it'll be interesting.
See,
and,
Ecuador was not supposed to win, but they won. United States is not supposed to win, but we're going to win.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're in there. All right.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this Caitlin Clark thing. Last night she was knocked down. They didn't call a foul at all. And then, the girl put her fist to her throat. Supposedly, some people, they look at the video or whatever, but she had growing injuries. That's what her injury was last year. They're saying that the girl tried to knee her in the while they were doing, I said growing like Growing.
Groin.
It's
Groin.
Groin.
Bueller.
My wife's a nurse, and she's always like, why you say growing? Like you're growing something. It's growing. I know how to spell it, but that's just my South Alabama English. But yeah, Caitlin Clark is, they finally come out, and I guess they're going to suspend the girl now. And then
One game ball.
They gave
That's
her
it.
1 game suspension for putting her fist in her throat. And then the second thing is they put it at a flagrant 2, which flagrant 1, flagrant 2, whatever. The game's already over.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about that? What do you think about this whole thing? We don't ever talk about it, unless we're talking about your favorite player, Angel Reese. But we're going to talk about the WNBA just for a second because it's a big story. I think it's worthy to talk about. A lot of people have come over because of Caitlin Clark, and a lot of maybe fans love Caitlin Clark. So I don't really. It's not that I don't like her. I just don't watch it. But how do you feel about them? Because they're talking about how they're letting stuff go. There's a lot of bullying going on. There's a lot of pushing going on that they may call fouls on other people that it happens to. But when it happens to her, they're saying that it doesn't happen. And then there's this divide of players that are better than her, but they don't get the money or they're not the person or whatever. So dive into that with me. Tell me what you think.
Is she really making that much more than other girls?
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
As far as her
endorsements.
Deals. Yeah, her deals.
That's companies. It's completely different from the league.
The NBA or the WNBA is really not paying them very much.
Well, if you only play 44 games in a season, now they're moving up to 50. You want to talk about equality to men and women, it just doesn't even equate. They don't play the same amount of minutes. They don't play the same amount of games. They don't play the same amount of playoff games. Their jersey sales are not the same, So it's hard to be equal like that. And it's in multiple sports, I mean, softball's played on a smaller diamond, right?
Yeah.
They play less innings.
Yeah.
Basketball's less time. I mean, they don't play football, I don't believe anymore. I don't think the lingerie league's gone. Nobody's going to go see that. I mean, this girl that I'm not saying she beat her up, but it kind of reminds me of like Draymond Green.
Yeah.
And I don't like Draymond Green.
Right.
And so is there any room for it? Is she getting more attention because it is Caitlin Clark? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because this could have happened, and Paul, we would have not have known it if it had happened to another player.
No. But she is the face of the WNBA.
She
is. As much as they want to say the best player needs to be, and this is the deal. Like, why do they love her so much? Because she does something. She does do something special.
Yeah.
And that is,
score from the outside like Curry.
She shoots the ball like Curry.
Yes.
Like she does step back. She's perfected that step back deal. She handles the ball. And she's kind of a phenomenon. She come in the league, and just some of the things that I would say about her is that I read all of this. The WNBA attendance is up 6,400 people per game since Caitlin Clark's come into the league.
And that's a lot because basketball arenas only hold maybe up to 18,000.
Right. Ticket prices for non-Indiana Fever games are $120. Fever games average $272.
God.
That's $152 difference on people wanting to see Caitlin Clark than the other players.
That's like Indianapolis Colt prices.
Right.
And they're still going.
Yeah, they're still going. And they're filling them up. I know that when they came to Atlanta, they didn't have the game at the Atlanta's actual stadium. They had it at the NBA arena, and they sold it out when Caitlin Clark came to town. So, again, this is kind of going into the whole thing. Okay, so you guys said that you're not there to see people, but here the WNBA, they don't pay their players based off of that. They pay them based off of what they believe and what their contracts can be. So with Caitlin Clark dominating the prices, dominating the memorabilia, dominating the television, dominating all of that, you guys said earlier, both of you agreed that it shouldn't be about the individual player. But everything she touches in the WNBA turns to gold, but her salary is no more than anybody else's that's a star on each team.
Yeah.
So how is that fair to her?
Well, yeah. Well, we don't have favorite teams in the WNBA. Right. I mean, at least
Well, don't discriminate. Don't discriminate.
Not a good analogy. Paul is really good at picking his spots, isn't he?
Yeah. So we don't really have a team. I mean, am I going to say the Indiana Fever are my team? No, not really.
But if you had to have a team, you're going to go with the player that you recognize or like the most or dislike the most as the team you don't like.
Or the city that, that I'm kind of connected to.
Yeah, because you're a geography guy.
Yeah,
geography guy.
Yeah.
But let's just be honest, though. Is Caitlin Clark, if she leaves the WNBA because they're taking away the opportunity for her to play because they're trying to bully her and hurt her, because there's people that have come out and said derogatory things about her, right, that are in the league, and some of the games have been a little bit dicey. What do you think happens to WNBA if Caitlin Clark leaves?
Well, they'll be drowning in debt because they don't make the money.
She makes the money, though.
She
She's
makes
the
the money
one
for
that
them.
pushes it up.
She leaves, and she better not go to Russia because I'll be honest with you. I don't think the Russian league polices like the Americans. The Americans try and make it fair.
Yeah.
I think the only other place she could go is maybe other parts of Europe, not Russia.
Ice Cube offered her $5 million to come to the Big Three to play against the grown men.
Wow. Okay, no, she's going to get killed there. Is she 6'2"?
I don't know. But I'm just saying,
I don't even think she's 6'2".
But, I mean, if you look at the whole thing of it all, what do we do here? Tell me what you think. I mean, you're telling me all about Russia and geography and all. Tell me about Caitlin Clark. What should she do? Because obviously this is happening more and more, and this is not getting resolved. The NBA the other day did not say a word. They gave her a technical foul for clapping
Oh, yeah.
And there's other players that clap that don't get technical fouls. It's almost like the WNBA itself hates the one that everybody's coming to see. It's almost like there's a hatred for her with some people, and she's the one that's drawing all the revenue up. Everybody gained because Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I can understand the resentment by the other players, but she is the face of the WNBA, and if she goes away, the WNBA may fold.
yeah. And I know Bam Adebayo's wife or girlfriend, Ajay, whatever, I can't.
Ajay Wilson?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Great last name, by the way. Gosh,
Yeah.
all these stars having the last name Wilson's crazy. Caleb Wilson got drafted the other night. Now,
They're all
don't
your
know.
cousins.
I don't know. I guess it's in the blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at Wilson, she is a great player. She led her team to championships and all that, but she shoots layups. She shoots layups. She's taller than everybody and shoots layups. That's not exciting. It's like watching Draymond Green play. He does things that are good. He helps you win championships, but he's not exciting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But Caitlin Clark shooting threes, doing step backs, getting excited, getting all the people going. It's exciting.
Yeah, I just can't get out of my mind Kevin Durant just all over Angel Reese every time she's on Twitter or any kind of social media. He just clowns on her every time, and it's all about like layups and everything. That's just popped into my head.
Oh, okay. I was
But
wondering.
anyway,
'cause
so that's the most
head.
valuable asset in the WNBA, and they aren't protecting her.
Yeah.
Is it stupid? Yes, it's stupid.
If just all those new Caitlin Clark has brought the WNBA boycott for 1 week's average of 25 games, maybe the NBA would wake up and if she were to not play for 25 games, people are saying this on the air. They're saying, don't play. Just step out and don't play. Tell everybody you're going to boycott until they do something about it. And then let's see what happens with because she believes, or the people believe, that she's being wronged. And I mean, it is what it is.
So are they swallowing their whistles, Paul? Is that what you believe?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And this one guy, he wrote, Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, none of this stuff happened to them. Wake up at WNBA because you're about to go broke again.
It never happened to any of those players?
Yeah, they took, it was always said that they take care of the players that generate the money. I know we joke about Magic Johnson saying, don't get too close to Michael. They'll call a foul.
But before Michael was Michael and winning championships, the Pistons were beating him up.
They were.
Yeah.
But
so you have to become the star, and then they'll protect
Has she become the star?
She is.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead. Oh, we got Coach Green from Mosley High School on the line. Coach, how are you doing today? I know you've been busy. Give us a little deal about what you've been doing and what's been going on with your program.
Well, we are in full swing of summer basketball. We've been playing every week, almost 2 to 4 games a week. My wife has told me about how many games we played, so she's reminding me. And we are actually about to drive down to BC. It's a big, Florida, not tournament, but just all the high schools in Florida play against each other.
Nice. That sounds good. So you're getting those guys ready to go. You're busy. Your wife's busy trying to keep track of you, and I'm sure those boys of yours are busy too.
Yes, sir.
Hey, step in a little bit. I know that you have the pulse on all of this NBA and WNBA stuff, but we've been talking about this whole thing that's kind of coming out. Do you believe that any of this has validity? I mean, you've played high-level ball. You're a high school coach. You've seen it where sometimes the referees swallow their whistle some. Do you think this is really happening in the WNBA, or do you think this is a marketing tool?
I would hope not, just to keep the game fair. I haven't watched a ton of games recently, But I would hope they wouldn't be doing that to spike ratings and things like that, and just keep it fair amongst the ladies that are playing.
Do you think Caitlin Clark has, with the way she plays and the fandom she's got, you got to say she's the face of the league right now, right?
I would say she is the face. She's probably the most popular women's basketball player in the world. I do not think she is one of the best ones, though. I will say that.
Right. And, and that's the thing is, like, what we were talking about is she's got something that she does that's fun to watch, which is the step-back three, which is, obviously Steph Curry, he won a lot of ball games and he's won championships, but he had something special. It's like the way I kind of put it is like Shea. Shea can't be the face because he doesn't really do anything that's spectacular. He doesn't play above the rim, and he doesn't shoot a lot of three-pointers, and they would much rather have somebody that does one of those things to call the face of the league, even though he's won championships. And like you said, with her, she's not as good as some of the other players that win championships. Yeah, she's good. I do think there are a few of the ladies that are, a little bit, I won't say a little bit better. Aja Wilson, she's really good. I'm actually a big fan of the young lady from Minnesota, Olivia. Wow, she's really, really good. She's actually really fun to watch. But I think they're just going to make her the face of the league. She blew up college, basketball for women. Yeah. So, and she does very much, mirror, the Steph Curry long threes, the barrage of threes back to back to back. So it is fun to watch, and that's very marketable, especially, all we want to do is shoot threes, in today's game anyway, so it's very easy to market. Yeah, do you think if they lowered that rim down to like 8 foot to let them dunk on each other that they'd grab a new spectrum of people that want to watch that stuff? They might. That would definitely make it a lot more interesting. But I don't know why, people don't watch it as much. Those women are very, very talented. And can play, and it's some really good basketball, if you give it a chance to watch. I just think people need to be more open to the idea of, women's basketball at that level. College basketball has a pretty big following, and obviously that's, people support their alum or whatever the case may be, but, it's even better at the WNBA. You just got to give it a shot. Yeah, I agree with you. Coach, would you be able to stay on for a couple more minutes? We're going to have to go ahead and take a break real quick. Yes, sir. Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Green about the NBA draft and about these big trades that took place yesterday and the big one today. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.
They're going to allow beer sold at the new sports complex, yet we can't have a cold beer on the beach.
Yeah. Then for the ride home, the fastest 2 hours on radio. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
You better hope you're ready.
Morning drive and the afternoon commute are live and local on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Thursday. Mostly clear skies tonight with a light breeze out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour and look for the low to be 80. Tomorrow morning, there will be a possibility of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine with the temperature reaching 86. Mostly sunny in the afternoon and evening with a high of 87. Saturday will have a high of 88 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
To get your boat running today without the dealership wait, it's Florida Main's Marine Service and Consulting. No more hauling the boat to the dealership. For a faster, smoother, and hassle-free boat service, they come to the dock or the driveway. Florida Main's Marine Service and Consulting. From Santa Rosa to Panama City to Apalachicola. Quick response to inquiries and competitive rates. Get your boat running today. Call Florida Main's Marine Service and Consulting. 850-851-4134. 850-851-4134.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
Broadcasting from the heart of the Gulf Coast and streaming to every corner of the map. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow night take on the San Francisco Giants right after the show. 6 o'clock is the coverage. 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. We got Jeffrey here. We got Bone Crusher here. Coach Green from the Mosley Dolphins basketball team is here on the line with us as well. Now, Coach, let's talk about this NBA draft. I was not surprised. I thought AJ was going to go first. I knew that there were possibilities that Darren Peterson would go second, and I know me and you had talked about it, and you thought they were going to go with Peterson because of some of the things that you liked about him. How do you think everybody did? Do you think anybody really did really good with the draft as far as just as a full team, as full draft?
I think everybody, did about what they needed to, because it kind of went, to board how it was. I don't think there were really any surprises, but there was a lot of good players. So I feel like, if you're in that top 10, top 15, you're going to get a really, really great player. So I think, if you were, I wouldn't say lucky, it's kind of unfortunate to be in the lottery most years. But I feel like if you drafted in that lottery, you got a really good pick.
Do you think that anybody that's in that top group, out of it, we did it yesterday, I'd like to hear who you think. Who do you think is going to be the star or like the superstar? And then tell me, who do you think, I wouldn't say there's going to be a bust, but is not going to be a star. It's just going to kind of be a role player and somebody. Maybe give me one of each.
Star, I want to say Peterson. I think I had sent you a message. He kind of reminds me, he's got some Kobe-ish to his game. It's a really, really smooth game, and kind of I could throw a little bit of Kyrie, just how he finishes. He's really skilled, and he can really shoot the ball and score it. I would throw AJ in there as well. Just he does. I mean, at that size and the stuff that he can do is really dynamic. Trying to think who else. Also, like the kid that got drafted from Arkansas, the guard.
Acuff.
Yes, Acuff. I like Acuff a lot. Kind of, AI-ish. I think those three have star potential. A bust? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say the kid from Illinois, Keaton, is it Wagner? Or whatever that kid, from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him in college, but I don't know. Going to the Clippers, we'll see. I hope none of them are bust because they're, they seem like really good kids. But there's always going to be one or two that don't pan out.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I'm going to tell you, and because I think it's worth saying again, and I could totally be wrong, but I think Cam Boozer is just going to be exactly what his dad was. I think he's a layup shooter. If you watch a lot of his film, you got to be able to dunk the basketball at 6'10", 6'11". If you're that big, you got to dunk the ball in the paint, because these guys that you're going to be playing against, you better not put it on the glass. They're going to stick it on the glass. guys. So I just think Cam Boozer is going to be he might be a walk-in double-double, but I'm talking 12, 15 points at the most, 8 to 12 rebounds at the most. And then, he'll just be that guy that he'll be a starter. He might be like Bobby Portis or something, but he's got to learn how to shoot three. He doesn't shoot three. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're knocking on Carlos Boozer, who is like a successful basketball player. I just don't even get what you're even talking about at this point. I'm like, he's just like his dad. Well, that was a really good player.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Just because I will say, out of the the top 3 or 4 picks, he is probably the most boring. But if he, Tim Duncan was really boring to watch. I'm not saying he's Tim Duncan.
True.
I'm not by any means saying he's Tim Duncan. But if he's going to be a boring 20 and 12, I would take that. And he's really skilled. He's really strong. He doesn't play above the rim, but he does, everything great. And I think somebody I was listening to posted a stat about, or said his worst game was like 15, 5, and 5, and they were blowing the team out, and he didn't play most of the game. And he's just good. Like, he's a winner, hard worker, and I think comments like that, no offense, Mr. Paul, I think comments like that are going to fuel him to be very successful in the league.
Well, I'll tell you this. If he is listening right now, Cam, you can come on my show anytime you want, and we'll talk about it for sure. And I might change my opinion.
I'm sure he didn't take it as an insult when you say just like his dad, because his dad, he loves his dad, and he looks up to his dad. But I don't think the chemistry, going to the Grizzlies with Ja Morant, that's what everybody's thinking about is Ja Morant when they think about the Grizzlies.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Coach? We talked about that yesterday, and, is it going to be a marriage that can work, or are they going to have to do some moving to get Ja out of there? Because Jeffrey doesn't think that they fit. Like, he seems to be more professional. Ja seems to be, Ja. But, what do you think about that, pairing those two together?
I think it's going to be a short pairing. I could see Ja Morant being on the move. They moved to Jackson, Jaren Jackson last year. The only one they've really, they moved Bane to my Magic. So I think they're kind of in the part of just blowing this team up and starting new, with Edey and Boozer. I don't really like that pairing. I'm going to be honest with you. Because like you said, Boozer doesn't shoot it as well. I think he's more than capable, but I don't think you can have two back to the basket, post players play at the same time in today's NBA.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. What did you think about the Giannis trade going to Miami? It kind of sounds a little bit like that. You got Bobby Portis going with Giannis, and then you got Bam Adebayo. Definitely a big, front court. But man, who's going to shoot the ball? There's only one.
So my assistant, he's a diehard Miami fan. And when the news broke, I texted him. I said, "You're going to wake up to a surprise." And it was obviously the Giannis news. And at first, I hated it because I'm not the biggest Giannis fan. And Orlando Magic, I do not like Miami, clearly.
Yeah.
But then I saw a picture of the potential lineup with Norman Powell and Wiggins and Mitchell and all these guys, and I was like, they're going to be tough. Miami, the culture, all of that things, that they were going to be really good. And then come to find out, Norman Powell's not going to be able to be paid there, so he's going to be leaving.
Yep.
They're not going to have any shooting. So I don't think it's going to work. I think Giannis will be very motivated to be successful. I think he's going to probably average close to 30, but I don't think they're going to be they'll be middle of the pack East, in my opinion, right there.
Well, and they were 10th, so if they're in the middle of the pack and they make the playoffs, you're thinking 7, 8, somewhere around there. So, they get to the playoffs. The thing that kind of gets me the most is that you got to look at Miami all the way, and I know somebody else is talking about this, but, do you trust Pat Riley? Do you trust Eric Spoelstra? That's can they find pieces? Can they get people after the fact? Are they going to be able to find some shooting, because obviously they don't have it? And I agree with you. They're just going to wrap up with Giannis doing the same thing. Basically, he was doing in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's got probably less shooting than he had in Milwaukee. I mean, I trust Pat Riley. I mean, from Wade and Shaq to, LeBron, and they've went to 2 finals after LeBron left. Like,
right.
Spoelstra can coach. Pat Riley can bring in players. I think Miami is a franchise that makes people a lot better. Whatever they have in the water down there, the culture, they get the most out of those guys, because a lot of those guys leave Miami and they're out of the league in a year or two.
Yeah.
So they're going to be tough. Giannis is going to be motivated. Bam's going to play well. I just don't think they have the pieces around them, and I don't think they're going to have the money to surround him with shooting, because if I was a team, I'd clog up the lane with Bam and Giannis, and even with Wiggins, who's, a streaky shooter at best. So I'm not a big fan of it now.
Well, and you're talking about something in the water. Well, I mean, Pat Riley must be drinking it. What's he, 90 years old? I mean, how old is Pat Riley? He's been around forever. I mean, is he a vampire? What's he doing?
He's in the mafia probably. So something.
He's something. Because I'm thinking, you said it first, saying the water. I'm thinking, yeah, Pat Riley's drinking the water down there. If it's in the water. Let's look at the other trade that just happened today before we came on the air. LaMelo Ball getting traded to go partner up with Ant-Man. LaMelo Ball and Josh Green leave. Then the Hornets get Naz Reid, a 2033 first-round draft pick, which is crazy to me, 3 first-round draft swaps, 3 second-round picks in 29, 32, and 33. So you're talking about how do you tell me you're getting rid of someone without telling me you're getting rid of someone?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I think that is probably, if you know anything about their outside lives between those two, Ant and LaMelo, those are probably the 2 worst people that you could have put together.
I mean, the only way you can make it worse if you put Ja Morant together. You know what I mean? And do a power 3 there.
Yeah, they'll be fun and entertaining to watch, but I mean, they've gutted that team, and I mean, they literally have no chance to be OKC or, the Spurs. So it'll be entertainment. I will say that it'll be really fun, but they're not going to win a whole lot, unfortunately.
Did that tell you anything about the Charlotte Hornets? Because it did me, and I'll tell you first what I thought. When I first heard of the trade, I said, well, Colin Knippel is the star. And I think that was probably one of the things. I mean, they got Brandon Miller there. You can have multiple players that can score double digits, even into the 20s, and still be successful and win. But I think that LaMelo Ball, being the point guard, and then, sometimes he just, comes down the court and feels like he can shoot it from 50 feet. So he just shoots it. But I think they just have went all in, to me, on Colin Knippel. He's their star, and they're going to build around him.
Yeah, I will say, well, I lived in Charlotte for, about 5 or 6 years. 2 of my good buddies are still in that area, and he just.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
Okay.
Sorry, Coach.
That's all right.
Leaving in Colin Knippel.
There we go.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we lost you for just a second. Go ahead and start over if you would.
I was saying, I went to, lived in Charlotte for 5 or 6 years, and my teammates, they still live in that area, and when the news broke, he just sent me an emoji, and he was just over. He's literally over the Charlotte Hornets, and he's, I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but, they believe in Colin Knippel. Brandon Miller, I'm kind of on the fence still about. Yeah. I think he's a volume scorer. Colin Knippel, great shooter. But I don't know. I don't know how that move really improves. Kobe White kind of revived his career, coming over from the Bulls to the Charlotte Hornets. But I don't know. I just don't think it's really going to do anything great for either one of the teams. They're kind of one of those franchises that are kind of just have always been in limbo and never really great.
Yeah.
So
I think Naz Reid coming over does help them, though. I think it kind of gives them, because that guy, to me, he played really well in the playoffs as far as just, maybe the stat sheet doesn't show, but the things that you don't look for or the things that you as coach would look for. Let me read something to y'all real quick, and I want to get both of y'all's responses to this. So 2018, Julius Randle leaves the Los Angeles Lakers, and they add AD. 2020, the Lakers win the finals. 2024, Julius Randle leaves New York, and they add Cat. 2026, the Knicks win the finals. 2026, Julius Randle leaves Minnesota. The Wolves add LaMelo Ball. So are we looking at 2028 LaMelo Ball brings a championship to the Minnesota Timberwolves?
It's going to say they don't make the playoffs.
Well, I wondered because that was one of the things that I really wanted to see what you guys thought about. But overall, I mean, there will be, as you said earlier, Coach, there will be more trades that happen. You did mention Kobe White. I know he's about to finalize a deal with Charlotte to become. Now he steps in to be the point guard. So you do have him, Brandon Miller, Concanipple, Naz Reid, and some of the other guys. So, I mean, you know, for fun, it might be okay for them. They might make the playoffs if they can, you know, get hot or whatever. What do you think about the coach from Michigan coming into coaching Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks? Do you think there's something there? Do you think that guy is going to be able to do something in Dallas?
Yeah, I do. He's a heck of a coach, even from his time at Louisiana Tech, and then coming over to I think it was FAU when he took him to the Final Four, and now Michigan. He's a heck of a coach. I did read something where he, kind of wasn't really feeling the whole, college turning into the pros with the NIL and all that stuff. So the opportunity comes to, Coach Cooper Flagg. And, I mean, I don't blame him for jumping on that. I would say Cooper, outside of probably Victor, is one of the, 21 and under, he's probably number 2 that you want on your team.
Yeah.
So that opportunity, I can't remember where they were at in the lottery, but, they've got a Kyrie, who will come back from injury. There's a lot of pieces to work there. You potentially have one of the best players in Cooper Flagg in the upcoming future, so I don't blame him for leaving. Won a national championship, left Michigan in a great spot. So he did what he thought was best for him.
There was some reporting that John Shire was offered the position first. Do you think he would do better, or do you think they did right with Dusty Mays?
I think John Shire needs to get out of the, win a championship first and stop blowing games how we've talked, and then we can talk about him going to coach the pros.
There you go. That's exactly right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out, coming in. We're bumped up against the break. Man, y'all keep playing, and definitely before the season starts, we'll get you in and do a preview on the team and see where you're headed this year.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. I appreciate y'all having me on.
All right. Thank you so much. If you want to go inside and have a place to go for batting cages, for basketball, for volleyball, for soccer, for anything athletic, Do Play is the place for you. If you go online and look up Do Play on your Facebook, or you can go to doplayonline.com, you can see everything that they offer there. Not only are they having volleyball leagues now, they're having camps, they're having soccer, flag football, basketball, volleyball, all of the above. Not only that, but you can have a birthday party there. And they have all kinds of stuff there for you. They've got the great mixture drinks, the refreshers. They got the protein. They got all that stuff, plus food. 287 Aberdeen Parkway in beautiful Panama City. The camps that they're having are filling up fast. So if you want your kid to get out, get off of the tablet, get off the phone, don't be like Toy Story 5 and have the toys fight the tablets. Get those kids out, get them moving, get them having a fun time. Do Play in beautiful Panama City is where you need to go. So make sure you do that. When we come back, we are going to dive into some breaking news that happened today. It's not good, though. Former Alabama football player. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the sports talk and live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ready to play? Welcome to DuPlay, your premier indoor destination for family fitness and total fun. DuPlay is designed for fun, movement, and skill building for all ages. Kids can explore our active playgrounds, while athletes and teams can utilize our turf fields, indoor soccer, batting cages, full basketball, and volleyball courts. With open play, training space, and structured activities, it's all inclusive at the new DuPlay in Panama City. Take a look now at DuPlayOnline.com. That's DuPlayOnline.com.
Looking for the most romantic night out in Panama City? Ferrucci Ristorante is your destination for authentic Italian cuisine and unforgettable moments. The candlelight, the wine, the homemade pasta. It's like a little slice of Italy. From handcrafted sauces to centuries-old recipes, Ferrucci brings true Italian flavor to every plate. It's where love stories begin and anniversaries are celebrated. To reserve your table, call 850-913-9131. Ferrucci Ristorante, Panama City's most romantic escape.
Hi everyone, this is Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Gifts in beautiful downtown Panama City. After nearly 40 years in the jewelry business, I'm so excited to welcome you to my very own store. Whether you're celebrating love, family, or life special moments, we're here to help you find something truly beautiful. From diamonds and fine jewelry to unique gifts and custom design, we invite you to come experience the difference. Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Gifts, putting a sparkle on Bay County.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results.
Hi, this is Todd from PCB Hobby on Back Beach. Advertising with ESPN Northwest Florida has been a wonderful experience. Their staff is very knowledgeable and friendly. If you want to talk with customers like you never thought possible, reach out to the team at ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
Climb into our TM and jump into the chat. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is live on Facebook. Interact with Paul and other sports fanatics. Now, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so glad that you joined us today on this beautiful day in Panama City Beach. 86 degrees, feels like 99, 75% humidity, 6 miles visibility, and a fair 2 on air quality. How you like that? I'm stepping into the meteorologist, Paul Wilson, today as well. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. You can call in, you can text in. You can also message us on our Facebook page where you can see what Jeffrey's doing or what he is not doing. Currently, right now, he's got his mouth full of oranges, which I guess the vitamin C is not enough in the ocean. You got to have it inside the studio.
It's for my comedy comebacks, you know. Like you'd make a great meteorologist because they're wrong a lot.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't.
Wow, that's great. Thanks for being here today. You can find yourself out the door. Thank you so much. Well, someone has found themselves not out the door, but locked up. Terrian Arnold, the cornerback from the University of Alabama.
Why do you have to always say where they're from? Alabama does not like you slamming their former players.
I think what you need to do...
He's a Detroit Lion.
Yeah, but what you need to do is you need to tell people, because some people don't remember where these players come from, so you can tell them, be like, oh, yeah, I remember him. He was awesome, or he was good, or, oh, I didn't like him.
So he's not any good at the Lions.
Yeah, he is good. He was a starter. But let's talk about it. Let's look at what happened.
We don't need that blasphemy about Alabama.
I'm going to read it to you. The Terrian Arnold, the Detroit Lions cornerback,
there you go,
was arrested on June 24th in connection, and this is crazy. All right, this is crazy, okay? Listen to what this was about. With a February robbing and kidnapping incident in Tampa, Florida. He faces 8 felony charges, including 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of armed robbery, which carries a potential sentence up to life in prison.
Jeez.
According to the authorities, Arnold was the primary conspirator in the incident, which involved 3 victims being held at gunpoint, beaten, and pistol whipped over a previous theft from an Airbnb that Arnold was renting, where $250,000 of property was stolen. Arnold's management team has denied the allegation, stating that there is no credible evidence linking Mr. Arnold to these allegations, and the government is relying on the testimony from convicted felons who may have incentives to shift blame. The Lions organization have released a statement saying they are aware of the situation and will not comment further of respect of the ongoing legal process. Arnold's contract was with the Lions, could be voided if he's suspended or released due to this allegation involvement. The team has paid Arnold $9.5 million so far, including a hefty upfront payment of $8 million in his rookie season. Arnold is scheduled to appear in court on today, and he did. And the state attorney's office is pushing for a pretrial detention motion to keep him behind bars until trial. And they were successful in that. I watched a little bit of that. One thing that they did change is that he is a conspiracy to commit kidnap.
Conspirator.
Yeah, to commit kidnapping. Okay, so I said a lot.
You did.
And, man, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, I hope not.
Well,
I mean, actually, the theft is not the big deal. The kidnapping part is a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kidnapping is holding somebody
against their will.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could have just closed the doors and locked them and said, "You ain't going nowhere until you give me my money."
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not like they drove up beside them in a van like everybody's thinking, opened the side door of the van, they were both masked, and they grabbed them from the grocery store and pulled them into the van and drove off. It's kidnapping.
Is that how you do it, Paul?
That's what I think.
That's what you would do.
What do you think whenever you
hear
the
you
word
wouldn't pistol
kidnap?
whip him? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, when you hear something, you have a thought in your mind.
Oh yeah. You watch too many movies.
Like. When you have, when you hear somebody kidnapping, you think of what I just described, maybe, or something else. And then if you think of pistol whipping, you probably think of a movie scene that you've seen of somebody pistol whipping someone.
Yeah.
Or if you've been if you've done that as a little kid with maybe your toy gun with your little brother or your big brother or whoever, that.
Are you trying to say something about New Orleans people?
Maybe. I think he's from New Orleans. No, I'm kidding.
No, hopefully not.
So when you talk about this, I mean, obviously this is not the first time people have acted out. So it sounds like to me they rented this Airbnb. He obviously rented it, and when he was there with the friends or with the people that were there, because when you do have a lot of money, sometimes you get friends of friends show up at your places if it's a big place, and I'm sure it was.
He might have invited them.
He could have. He could have invited those guys. They could have been friends of his or whatever. And,
and they decided to take souvenirs.
Or,
because it was Tampa, right?
Yeah. It could have been alcohol. Like, you could have bought bottles of alcohol that were his, or it could have been jewelry, or it could have been clothes, or, they haven't named exactly what it was. But he found out that they'd taken stuff, and I guess his group beat the other group, and that group filed charges against him. So, does it make it worse? Because the defense is saying, how can you believe felons?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I know.
So are felons?
They're not reputable.
So felons, if you're a convicted felon, basically they're saying you can't tell the truth because they're saying it.
I mean, I know people who aren't felons or haven't even had misdemeanors, and they can't tell the truth either. So
yeah,
I mean,
maybe we shouldn't go down this road.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't.
Are you a felon, Jeff?
No, I'm not a felon.
Good.
Yeah, I only do misdemeanors.
Okay.
The light, petty stuff.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, are you surprised? Bone Crusher, are you surprised that it's an Alabama player? Because normally we've been talking about Georgia players going to jail or getting in trouble, since you're a Georgia fan.
He's so happy it's not the Georgia people.
He didn't even comment.
No, he didn't.
I mean, he just was
He
like,
commented
laughing,
with sound
laugh
effects.
it up.
he laughed on there like, oh, you got me, but I don't have
My
anything
goodness.
to say.
I comment with sound effects.
Okay,
sometimes.
okay, that's good.
I mean, look, Georgia people just speed, y'all kidnapping people over here.
I mean, and I'm looking on our Facebook page. Otis Reed said, if he did that, he's a moron, like he needed the money. So, again, we've got so many NFL players that you can learn from, that have made these mistakes. Why does it seem like people just don't learn from other people's mistakes? Because they've got all of the help now. They've got all of the people now that can help you, that says, hey, don't hang out. I remember Chris Carter giving a big statement about, because he had some trouble early on with marijuana and different
Cocaine.
stuff. Cocaine. Yeah. So Chris Carter so he was one of the ambassadors that talked to the rookies that came in.
Yeah.
Guess who was one of the people that asked him a question?
Randy Moss.
No.
Who?
Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Aaron Hernandez asked Chris Carter a question about how he learned and what did he decide to do to make it different. And Chris Carter said everything that Aaron Hernandez should have done but didn't.
Yeah.
And you said it yesterday. The NFL, when they bring you in, they give you all of this training. They have former players, even former players that have messed up, come in and talk to you to give you insight on what's about to happen, because you're making all of this money now, and everybody's going to come towards you. When you're an NFL player, people gravitate towards you. They want a little piece of the pie.
Yeah. I mean, they're young, and there's different cultures with different teams, and some of those young guys, they don't take it seriously. Even sexual harassment courses that they take and everything. So some teams will stress the point and say, you need to take this serious. This is very important. You don't want to make mistakes. All these things can happen. And in other teams, they're probably like, yeah, go see another course. They're going to put you through this. You just got to sit through it.
Yeah.
And that's not good. Whatever this guy did, it wasn't the initial thing where his friends possibly, maybe, allegedly stole a coffee table or a lamp or whatever. No, because you're thinking clothes?
Yeah. Or jewelry.
Or jewelry?
Yeah.
Okay, I get jewelry and all that.
They're
But
not.
clothes? Who's stealing somebody else's clothes?
They were staying at a rented Airbnb, and it was $250,000. I don't think there's $250,000 lamps that they're looking for when they go there. They're going
Works
for
of
diamond
art
rings.
on the wall. I don't know what they're stealing, but whatever they're stealing, that was not his responsibility, because it wasn't his thing that he did. But the whole kidnapping and holding people against their will, like, hey, I'm locking this door. I need you to give back all the stuff.
Right.
And I'm holding a gun.
Right.
That's the bad part.
Let me ask you about the culture of this. So he's hanging out with felons. These are his buddies.
I don't know
pals?
if they were with him or if they were friends of friends that were at the house.
It's the company you keep. We see this from Michael Vick and countless examples.
Yeah. When you hang out with dogs, you're bound to get fleas. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, when you think.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
So,
I mean, to be honest with you, though, you might have friends and not know that they're felons.
That's
'Cause
true.
They don't come forth.
I mean,
and
yeah,
say,
that's not something you come out
hey,
with.
I got caught with some drugs. It was a few years ago and all that. It's a very big label to put on somebody, felon, because it could be anything, really.
Well, let me tell you this real quick before we got to go. Detroit sports fans right now, Terry and Arnold arrested, Isaiah Stewart traded, Dusty May leaves Michigan, Detroit Tigers are losing, Dylan Larkin requests a trade, Tarek Skubal is about to be traded. So Detroit fans, get off the ledge, come back over here. It's going to be okay. So I'm just saying that's a part of it.
Stay sober with Ed.
Yeah, for sure. It's unfortunate. Hopefully, more stuff will come out, and, I don't know, man. I don't really know. You just hope the best for everybody. Well, that's it for us today. We appreciate you listening to the fastest 2 hours in the Panhandle. Thanks so much. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.
They're going to allow beer sold at the new sports complex, yet we can't have a cold beer on the beach.